Hey, what's good, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Marketing in the New World, where we will be giving you the best advice, absolutely free, that will make you a millionaire tomorrow. Please remember that this show is proudly brought to you by NWDM and hosted by yours truly, Hervey Sehwai. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be dabbling into a topic that everyone has been wondering about: how to be a part of the 1% best performers when it comes to club promoters. Yes, I said it here. If you want to be part of the 1% of best performers when it comes to club promoters, this is definitely the episode that you need to be listening to. So please don't hesitate to like, share, and comment below and engage with us so we can give you more input on what is happening in the world of all things marketing. Right, getting straight into it. Number one, if you want to be one of the 1% high performers when it comes to club promoters, is that you need to make sure that you become an asset. That is our number one, everybody. Become an asset. And by become an asset, a lot of people tend to be confused as to what exactly we're talking about when we say become an asset. Don't understand. If we tell you to become an asset, it means make sure that you are important in any industry and you add value. So if you're going to be going to club owners and telling them like, hey, I want to be a club promoter at your club, you need to make sure that you carry some sort of weight and that when you're not around, they can actually tell the difference. So a lot of people tend to ask me, what is the best way that I can go about that? And I always give them the same advice. When you go to any business and essentially any business venture, make sure that you add value. Right? So as a club promoter or an aspiring club promoter, it is super important for you to actually do your due diligence, do the work, and actually hit up brands that you can bring onto the new business deal that you want to engage on, right? So, for example, it's super important for you to hit up maybe, let's throw random brands out there, like Belgravia, for one. Belgravia is a South African brand that manufactures alcohol. I think a lot of people do know Belgravia, and you can hit them up, maybe send them an email. Okay, so now this is obviously your due diligence that you have to do on a daily basis, right? You have to hit up at least 10 companies every single day for at least 30 minutes to an hour, and keep working your connections, making sure that you actually do connect to them and actually build some sort of relationship so you can carry those relationships into any business venture that you go into. So after you do that, after you orchestrate that deal, you can hit them up, even claiming, maybe a little lie, saying that I am the club promoter for A, B, and C brand, and I would love your brand to come market themselves or sell their product at our venue. They won't know the difference if you actually in it or not. So it's super important for you to actually live your truth and actually live within those thin lines of in and out. Okay, if you know what I mean. So after you take that business deal, you go directly to the club owners and say, hey, I have a business deal with let's say, for instance, Red Bull, right? And of course, the club owner will be super excited because now not only are you coming to come up with these stories of how you can be the best club promoter, you're actually coming with actual value. So that's definitely number one. And then number two is build brand. A lot of people tend to misunderstand the concept of building brands when it comes to your social media, how you present yourself and how you orchestrate yourself around certain places. It is super, super, super important for you to build your brand. So, if you're going to be talking to specific people, it is super important to be well aware of who you hang around with and who you associate yourself with and what kind of brands or places that you're seen around. That helps you build brand when it comes to being a club promoter. Because you cannot be an A-grade promoter, let's say for luxurious places like fancy restaurants or fancy clubs, knowing very well that your connection or your association is not really within those kind of clubs. Because even when you do host anything, people will not show up because that's not the kind of venue that they would go to. So it's super important for you to align with any club or venue that aligns with your brand. So always make sure that you study yourself to that degree where you know that if I go to such places and I attract such people, it's generally because that's exactly who I am. And then number three, study different crowds and how to catch their interest. That is super easy and self-explanatory. You have to always study human behavior. It's pretty simple. So whenever you go out, you have to check, what do people actually like listening to? What kind of entertainment do they like? What do people do from 8 p.m. until 10 p.m. at a club? How do they behave? Do they actually want to see performers or do they prefer DJs? Do they want to take videos or do they just want to take pictures? Do you have to create a photo booth or do you have to create a kissing booth, for example? So it's very important for you to know how to orchestrate yourself around people and actually understand human behavior, because now that will make you eligible to actually creating any sort of program that people definitely enjoy every single time they come to your events, right? And now that on its own makes sure that you are of certain quality and value when it comes to any club owner that you work with, because they know that you orchestrate your events or your projects in a certain way that people genuinely enjoy the experience. And of course, if you leave or you're not hosting, they can actually tell the difference. Do you understand? So it is super important for you to always understand those three top major factors. Number one, become an asset. Number two, build brand at all times. Number three, study different crowds and how to catch their interest. All right, everybody, that's going to be all for today. So if you guys want a private consultation, you can jet down below on the description box. You can have our email and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. It's at officialnwdm_ZA. And of course, you can send us an email to book yourself a private consultation, and we'll have a one-on-one conversation on how to build your brand and how to establish yourself in the new world that we live in. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Hervey Sehwai, and I am the CEO of New World Digital Media, and I will be with you guys yet again next week, and I hope this advice will help you to level up and actually get to the point that you're trying to get at on being the top 1% of the most high performer club promoters in the world. Thank you very much, everybody, and catch you guys in the next episode.